Hey guys, welcome back. So, what are we working on today? Yeah, the Super XL 925 Homelite. And we got parts. We got pistons. One piston. Okay. We've got rings. We even got crank seals. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't pressure test it. They're probably okay, but who knows? Got the even gaskets. So base gasket and intake behind the airbox thing gasket. Yeah, technical. So yeah, I got those from Little Red Barn. Hopefully they're the right size. I haven't even tried sticking the piston in there yet. But I did play around with the cylinder a little bit. And you guys see? No, doesn't look like you can. I see. Let me try this. Give you a little bit of light. Okay, can you see right there? Right like where my chin is. Try to get it in the light maybe a little more. Yeah, actually it's above it. Right up there. Yeah. See that line? I didn't make that. That's a crack in the seal. And it looks like it goes right into the thing. Right into the chamber. That's not good. So maybe that's what did her in. But she picked up and got a little lean. But I don't know. We'll find out. So stick around, guys. We're gonna do a lot of bad things and hopefully make it run. Yeah, that's how we roll. Okay, guys. I just brought the impact down, took the nut off. We're gonna pull this flywheel. We're gonna use my homemade flywheel puller tool thingy. Whatever the heck I did with it. Here it is. So, yeah, right there. Even says Homelite on it. Well, it says it over there too, Homelite flywheel. So when I get old and I don't know what it is, at least I'll kind of know what it is. So yeah, so all we do is we thread this on. I should put that nut on there, but I'm not going to. We'll see how she goes. We'll see. She'll probably fight us. And when I made this, you know, I made it precision. So, no, not really. Hopefully we won't have to lock the cylinder. We'll see. We'll put a little pressure on it, and then we'll see what happens. But, make sure you get on there as much thread as you can get onto those starter paws. Ugh. Looks like about as good as I can get. That looks crooked. Let's see, I wonder if I could tighten that one down a skosh. Not really. It's on pretty good. I'm just going to loosen it up a little bit over here, just so I'm kind of a little more square on the thing. You guys can see. I just want to be square on the head of the bolt there. Let me get this jug out of the way. Don't lose that. That's like $200. Yeah, that's way too much. Way too much. Should I get an actual wrench? Yep, I should. Get that wire out of there. Put a little tension on her, see what happens. Okay. Now we're going to give her a little tappy. Guess what? We own it. Look at that. The homemade tool. Yes, it works. So you too can create a homemade tool. I'll show you what it is. Now that I actually know it works. So. It does. Looks like it might have flattened them threads just a skosh. I think it'll be fine. But anyway, yeah, so this is all it is a bolt with a nut booger welded up here so the bolt can tighten in. And then what I did was I found some nuts that would thread on. I think there's 3 or 4 nuts stacked up, and then I found bolts that would screw into the nuts, and I stuck them on here, you know, threaded them on, and then all the way on the bolt, if I remember correctly, and then I welded the nuts together. Then I backed out the now collar, I guess we'll call them, or coupler, you know, about a 1/2 inch of threaded nuts, and then just tacked them to the bolts. So when you turn the bolts on the outside, the actual, but they're not real square, as you can tell. But they don't have to be, obviously. So that works. Yeah, and no damage to the nut. I thought maybe it had felt like it flattened, but it screws right on there like $1,000,000. So no problem, no damage. Perfection. Yeah, she's sturdy. It's probably a good thing we're tearing her apart. Change that crank seal out. But we'll get her hosed out here a little bit. I've got some brake clean. I think I'm going to try to shoot kind of around. You got to make sure to keep that away from rubber, but I don't think there's any rubber here. So I think we're good there. So I'm not gonna keep you guys around to watch me de-schmooze this thing, but that's what we're gonna do, is try to get some of the schmutz out of here. A lot better. Still got crud there. I got crud everywhere in this thing, but anyway, at least this side of it I can see. If I remember correctly, the crank seal on these are right underneath this module. So I'm going to try, it looks like somebody's been in here and silicone this module. I don't believe that's factory silicone. It could very well be. I just tried a screwdriver of 2 different sizes in these screws, and they're tight. So I watched Leon do a little trick with an impact and a straight bit. So I'm not sure that plan will work, but it does. It works. Leon, you're a genius. I just tried that screw with like 2 different screwdrivers, and it just didn't feel like she was gonna go. And that screw just backed right out. So did that one, and so did that one. So there you go, guys. Another piece of information that is super valuable. If you want to get those screws out, hit them with the impact. So, and they suck right out. Super easy. Let's look under this module and see what's cooking under here, because I really don't know. There's little lock washers, and it looks like a flat washer. Actually, it's like, maybe it's just a lock washer, and then there's an insert in there, because the little washers came out. Okay, that loosens up. These wires, I assume, will come up out of here somehow. They kind of fish in behind there. I think I'm going to pull some silicone off here, because, yeah, these wires pop off right here, that they siliconed them. I don't know if they were falling off, and I think I recall Leon saying that they do that. They fall off. Where'd my needle noses go, guys? Yeah, I know. I got to clean the bench off again. Oh, there they are. Got 2 pairs of needle noses. Let's just try pulling these off. I probably should have done it before I got this thing loose, because it's being a little bit tricky. Oh yeah, no, they fell right off. That's kind of scary, actually. Fell right off. Okay. So there's the module. Pulled the 2 wires off. The wires, well, you can see maybe this one right here has a little fray in it. This one here looks like it's peeling off back here. That's the side of it. So I think we may have to do some wiring stuff. But all those wires look like they just push on. So we can probably just create new wires, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Opened up another bag of worms. So, where's my little screwdriver? Oh, there's little dingleberries in here. I wonder what the hell they are. I remember in one of his videos the material rolling around. I know you don't see that, but they look like little balls. And I guess that's the sawdust rolling around on the inside with the oil, and it actually creates little balls. And that's exactly what there was in there. It looked like little ball bearings, but just sawdust. Very interesting. So I'm just going to dig some of that out of there. So yeah, this cover right here is the actual cover to the crankcase. So this piece is what keeps the innards on the inside. So that's pretty neat. Give her a little douche with this because we're replacing that anyway. So clean that out a little bit. I'm going to clean out around that seal too. Oof. So there. So I don't know if you guys can see, but we've cleaned out around there. Now we got to try to get that seal out. I want to just confirm before I go do something stupid. I do that a lot. These seals, part number on the bag is 12282. They look pretty much the same. I'm not real keen on the rubber though, quality. I'll show you guys. That's concerning. I'm not sure these seals are the best. But can you guys see there's rubber kind of cast over there a little bit over the spring, and there's rubber cast over this side right there. So yeah, Chinese, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, they're not Chinese. I've been told they're not Chinese. So yeah, squeezes right on there. So I think that'll fit. How do we get it out? Any idea? I've seen a couple different techniques, all of which were scary. Yeah, the ones that I saw was a guy got in here behind on the crank side, not on the, here, I'll bring you guys in if I can, not the best. So the guy came in from this side on the crank side because the crank is hardened, not on the magnesium side. You don't want to be digging in on that side because that's going to cause some issues. But this side right here is where he dug into it to get in behind it. I wonder if I got like a little pick. What do we got? What do we got? Anything? Anything except my little screwdriver. Oh, I got this little screwdriver. This is a good little tuning screwdriver. You guys can't see it, but it's there. we might be able to create a little tool out of this. Where are you guys? Focus. Oh, it's trying. So right there. So if I made a hook in this, like a little fish hook, I might be able to get down behind it, turn it a little bit, catch the edge of it. What do you guys think? I don't know. All I do is worst is I ruin a little screwdriver. Let's make a tool. So I'm just trying to file this to create a hook. I know you guys can't see it because it's microscopic, but that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, we made a whole hook. Yeah, check that out. Can you see it? There it is. That's a good shot. So I just made a little hook. I think what I'm going to do is sharpen the end of this a little bit to make a point. Okay, this is what I've come up with. Let me back here. There it is. You guys see? Made a little fish hook. I have no idea if this is going to work. But we're going to go hunting for it and see if we can get it out of there. Remember, go in on the crank side. Okay, well, I'm in behind it. Ugh. I'm pulling. It's like pulling a tooth. Oh my gosh, that's tight. No turning back now. Gotta get it out of there. I'd like to find something I could set underneath there to pry against. It's not gonna bugger up that. I thought I had a little piece of nylon here that I'm using for another tool I'm creating. This one's not very thick. I don't like that. Holy moly! Holy moly! That is not coming out of there. I'm in behind it. Of course, guys, 30 seconds off camera. There we go. I got it out. Yeah, literally. 30 seconds. It started to work. Yeah, no, I didn't hurt it. I scuffed it up a little bit, but I didn't scuff it up on the inside, just on the outside edge. I think we'll be fine. So, the bearings, as you can see, I think, are right in behind there. So, the technique I used, just so you know, was the same technique. I just had to get a better bite and get that hook, that little fish hook in there. That worked pretty good, actually. And then just use the pliers as a leverage on the end of the crank, and she'd come right up out. So there she goes. Nut off. So yeah, good deal. That one is out. So I get a weird noise. You hear that? That can't be good. Oh, it's the wires maybe? No. There's something in there. Oh, you know what it is? I think it's the fuel line dingle-dangling around in there. I think. Oh, or it could be this too. That's what it sounds like. It's got Tygon fuel line in it. Okay. Cool beans. So now all we need to do is clean up that surface a little bit with the cleanest, dirtiest rag you got. On the end of a screwdriver, give it a little once around. Good enough. Just double checking, making sure I didn't score anything up. Nah, looks fine. Just a little scuff there on the, scratched it on the outside. Okay, so this seal, see if we got any motor oil. I like to put a little oil on them so you don't burn them up. So all I'm doing is just putting a little oil on there, a little straight 30 weight, whatever you got. Oil is oil, right? In there. Okay. Now we need to find a socket that is going to fit over that and that. It looks pretty good. See if we can get her to go somewhat square in. Hitting the thing, of course, but at least we got it started. Looks like it's a little bit there. We'll hit it with something else here. What else we got? Okay. That's actually not bad compared to where it was. I think it might have been just a skosh lower, but not much. I don't know what else I got to tap it in there with. So guys, this is what we ended up using to seat this down in here. I found this little piece of metal floating around in the junk, and it seemed to fit right down in there quite nicely. And then I just used a regular socket here. I had started it with the other one, and then I finished it with this one. And I guess kind of looked at the video just to make sure I had it down. It's not quite 1/8 of an inch, but it looks to be about the same place it was when I took out the other one, so who knows. Just for reference sake, it looks like the top wire is the one that goes on the top side up here, and that one goes on the bottom. I'm just looking to see, there's lettering on this. It says trans, and that says something else. So it's actually labeled, which is pretty cool. So we could actually figure it out if I mess those up, because I got to pull them wires because those are junk. But yeah, I think we did pretty good on getting the crank seal back in, at least on this side. We'll have to fix the wires before we can put the flywheel back on. But now, since I figured that out, and we'll try to get this piston off without pulling that cover off. Yeah, I don't know if that's physically possible. I'm hoping I can suck this down in here, get a bolt through here, and a tool that will catch this and suck that out. But I also looked in here. I can't see. Maybe there's a clip in there. I couldn't see a clip, but my eyes ain't as good as they used to be. But maybe that is a clip right there, because we definitely need that out of the way before we can get that pin out. And we got a new wrist pin. Notice this wrist pin is solid. And this wrist pin is hollow. That's interesting. I don't know. Good thing or a bad thing? Make it lighter. Faster? I don't know. How am I supposed to know? But I got to get that clip. If there is a clip in there, let me go digging around with a pokey device of some sort and see if there's anything that looks like it's moving. It kind of looks like maybe there is a clip. We got that pin out. Holy moly. Yeah, my finger's bleeding. And it coincidentally has the exact same shape as the screwdriver. Yeah, that I sharpened to get in there. But yeah, I had to do some digging to get that thing out of there. That's ridiculous. But I also noticed that being that it's solid and the replacement is hollow, my tool that I've designed to install the pin probably won't work. So, yeah. Am I going to have to pull that out of there? I really did not want to pull that off them bearings because, you know, well, yeah, the way it is. I don't want to do it. I've tried to cut corners. You know what happens when you cut corners? You screw stuff up. So I got to get this gasket out of here. Oh, man. I don't want to have to deal with trying to fish that back in there. Then it's probably going to be, you'll have to pull this cover. You know, the points plate or ignition plate or whatever you want to call it. This thing, that's inside of a recess with alignment pins, and it's a real pain in the butt to get out of there. We got to do it. It's got to be done. Don't want to do it. Tip that over. Don't have cap for it. Need that piece. Clean up the mess a little bit. Okay, so we got to get these big screws out. These have got hex heads on them, so maybe. Yeah, and I bet they're Loctited in there. What do you guys think? I need a 7/16 socket covered in gook. Yeah. Hit it with the impact. Where's my other end? Okay. Well, come out. Didn't break it off. That sucked. That ruined your day. Okay. Cool little gold bolts are out. We've got to change them wires anyway, so what I think we'll do is we'll try to get a little pry bar under here a little bit. Try to get in a place where you're not going to hurt anything. And just give it a little loving. You guys can see here, I'm just trying. Give it a little twisty twist, not much. Don't want to break off those tabs. I just want to make sure that it knows that it's supposed to come off. Oh boy, wish I could get a little more. Oh yeah, there she goes. I just saw a little tiny bit of wiggle. Not much. Just a tiny bit. That seemed to be more on that side, but we'll take it. Okay. So, yeah. How did he do that? Did he just put a screwdriver under it and then tap down on it? Trying to remember how Leroy did it. I think that was the technique. I think he just put a little down pressure on it. I don't know if he had 2 screwdrivers or 1. Can't recall. I'd like to get this side to pop loose a little more. Yeah, it's definitely up. I'm up almost 1/8 of an inch over here. Actually over here too. So maybe we just keep wiggling it. Well, wiggles work. Look, wiggle worked kinda. Sorta. Look at that. I guess that come off easier than I expected it. Now I can confirm where my thing is to my bearings. Yeah, they're not touching. I don't think you want them touching them bearings. You want to keep it away from there. You want to make sure that it's flush in there. It doesn't look like it is. We can adjust that before we put it back together, I think. Get something in there and move it around. So, next step is we got to get an Allen wrench in here and get this. Wait a second, this side's got a hole. Wait a second. Look, can you guys see? That side's got a hole through it. What's going on? Is it just gook in there? No. Wait a second. Does the other one have a hole? Yeah, this one's got a hole all the way through. Both sides. This one does not. The hole stops short, which is interesting. Interesting. So, if a guy had, I still don't want to tear this apart, right? You guys understand. You understand where I'm coming from here. What if a guy took and designed his tool, finished making the tool, to go under the piston, and we try tapping that pin out with a block of wood under here. Little tap, 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 tappy. What do you think about that plan? I don't know, how hard is that in there, that pin? Is it pressed in there? Probably. Got a 20-ton press. I can press it out. It'll come out. 12,000 pieces. Let's go finish this thing up. And I'm going to drill a big hole in it. Well, not that big, but big enough. How big? What the heck? How big's a hole got to be? That's plenty big enough. So let me go do that. I did actually use the block that I made with the hole underneath with the block here, and I tapped out the old piston. So it worked pretty good. So I'm pleased with that. I did notice that the new piston, the wrist pin just is a much more running sliding fit. So I did put the clip, and the clip has a curly Q pigtail on it, so it's much more, I think, to retain it, because that could blow out of there relatively easy. But also, I noticed in one of the old videos that Leon had done is he was concerned about these thrust washers. And there's 2 thrust washers in here. I've put one on the bottom, and I'm going to try to slide this one on the top when I put it all together. So that's kind of the plan. I also blew this bearing out with a little brake clean, and then I stuck my finger underneath it and dumped a little motor oil on top of it. Let it set there for a minute and try to soak into those rollers so that bearing is clean and oiled. That's the plan. So the next step is making sure you put your piston in the right way. You don't want, this is the electric side, the other side is the exhaust side. So you want your gaps, your pins, and your rings to be pointing this way, okay, towards the electric side, because you don't want them to get caught in the exhaust port when they go by. So, and these rings are super stiff. They're really stiff. I'm kind of a little bit interested to see how I'm going to get them up in there. I do have the tool. I bought it. I sprung for the little plastic things. I used to use a piece of sheet metal just to grip them. Same idea. I did it on the Hondas. But these rings are really tight. So anyway, I'm going to try to wing this up in here and see if we can get that up in there, and then we'll flip it over, put that clip in. I have the other clip sitting right there. So I'll show you that clip just in case I can show you or not. See, it's got like a little curly Q. The other ones don't, stock ones. I'd show you one of them, but they both took off across the garage somewhere, and I don't care. So let's see if we can finagle this thing up in here. We don't need our block anymore. That worked pretty good. So let's see if we can, let's see, that's the bearing side. This is going to be tricky. I'm not sure. I think I might just roll it over like this. I can see. I know you guys can't. But to be honest with you, I got to figure this out. I can't just, you know, give you guys all the... Okay, I'm through one side. Now I'm going to try to fish this other little thrust washer. Now, Leon said that he had a problem with the thrust washers going in at one point. The casting was weird. And I almost tend to agree with him right now. It does feel tight. Way tighter than it should be. So I just got it jammed in there. And I think what he did was he just shaved it down a little bit, the piston. I think I didn't know if they listened to his videos or not, but I definitely, it does, well, maybe something moved. Maybe it was just out of alignment. Now maybe it feels better. I cannot see a thing. I have no idea where that washer is. Oh, I can see it from this side. So maybe I just had it crooked because it feels better now. I'm just trying to get that thrust washer down in here somewhere. And it will not go where I need it to go, which is weird. So is it the casting that's keeping the washer from going in? It should just slip right in there. But it is not. You know, you can see, I don't know if you guys can see or not. Where are you? There's a half a hole of washer there. So that's, I don't like that. I don't know why. I mean, there's plenty of room there. And it feels pretty good. I just can't move that washer anymore. Huh. That's odd. Strange. I hate to pull it apart, but I'm going to have to. I don't want to. I'm going to have to. I don't understand why that washer just doesn't slip up in there. It's loose, but then it bottoms out on something. I wonder if the casting isn't really machined square. I wonder if the casting is a little bit narrower at the top than it is at the bottom, because that's exactly what it's feeling like. Because if I push it, I can almost like seize that piston up in there. That's not what you want. And if I pull it towards me, yeah, I think it needs a little bit of loving. Come on. Everything is oily. Slippery, slippery, slippery. So, try to dry my hands off. Okay. So let's pull this out. Get it off there. Where'd that ring go? There's that one. Let's just take a quick look at this. Yeah, the machine surfaces don't look pretty. They're not really machined. You know, they're just flat surfaces. I don't know if I can clean up a little bit in there with something. I got enough room. I might be able to get a file in there. Where did other file go? I don't know. There could be just a burr too, you know. Just 2 burrs on either side would hold it up. So I'm just gonna give it a quick file job here. See if you guys are still in the shot. Try the other side a little bit. See if there's a burr or something. Because all I need is just a wee little bit. And I think Leon said that he had to clean his up too, so. These are not original Homelite pistons. These are aftermarket. Supposedly not made in China. Read the website. Little Red Barn. But they are probably made in Pakistan or Honduras or someplace like that. Okay. I'm not moving much material, by the way. I'm just kind of cleaning up the surfaces a little bit. So let me give this a quick blast. Don't want any gunk in there. And let's try it again. This thing's got enough oil on it for 12 people. Okay. Make sure we got it the right way again. Pins are towards the electrical side. Okay. So we got it. Took through the wrist pin. Now I'm too far, because I got to try to finagle this thrust washer in here. I think I'm just too far. Let's push it out a little bit. Too much, probably. Feel around because I can't see what I'm doing. Literally just feeling for the groove. Okay, I found the slide. Oh yeah, that actually, oh yeah. That might have been enough. Now all I gotta do is get her to go and find center. Come on. I know you went in there. I know you do. There she goes. Up against the pin. That's it. We did it. Flip it over, put the other clip in there, which I haven't lost yet. Amazing. And yeah. Boy, there's a lot of, it's nowhere near as, the side to side rock is, but there's no up and down play. I don't feel really any up and down play. And that's the way, I mean, the shaft is moving. Let me hold this. Yeah, I mean, there's barely any up and down play. It's just side to side. And I put those washers in there, and I didn't take off much of nothing. I just cleaned up the burr. So let's flip this way and see if we can finagle this one in. And then I'm going to go eat lunch. I'm hungry. Yeah, kaplunk, kerplooey. In. That's it. Piston's in. We're going to have to figure out a way to get this clutch off. And then once we do that, we should be able to... I saw... what did he do? I was watching Tin Man Saws. And he had a neat little trick for doing his. I got to go back and look at that and figure that out. But anyway, yeah, so that's pretty cool. Rings are in. They're on the right side. That's a good thing. I put the piston in the right way. And I didn't have to pull the thingamadookie apart. I didn't want to take those needle bearings out. Really didn't want to go there. So, yeah. Just remind me before we put it back together. Because it does look like that seal is a bit crooked. And I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to touch. So I think I can poke at it with a socket or something, maybe a little bit from this way, and get it kind of just tapped back a little bit. It fit kind of loose. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't as tight as the other one. That thing was glued in there. Okay, this is what we got going on. It is hitting. I just got the jug sitting on there. And I can't spin it for you and hold the phone. Let me see if I can get it rigged up in something. Maybe I can do it this way. And block it. The piston is hitting the counterweight when it's coming down. And I tried putting the cover back on it, thinking maybe it was out of, level a little bit. But it's not. It's actually, it hits. You can't finagle it by it. So, I don't know. Okay, guys, next day, and I did send an email out to Leon, and of course he got back to me. Dude's awesome. Showed him a quick little video on my phone of this thing, not working. So, yeah, I gotta tear it all back apart again. I mean, I maybe file a little material off or whatever, but Little Red Barn probably should know that their parts, I think the tolerances are slipping. The casting process, when you go to make a piston, you got to use a mold, or you got to use a piston. You got to use something to put in the sand to create the mold. And I think what they've done is they either initially lost the original piston that they used, which had the correct tolerances, and they have now went to another piston that has, the next one up. It's kind of like cutting a board. If you use a board as a pattern and you lay it on another board and you draw a line and you cut that line, if you don't use that original pattern, that board, the first one, and you cut 30 of them, every time that pencil line goes down, it adds that thickness of the pencil line, and then you're adding to the material. So I think that's kind of what happened with whoever's manufacturing for them, but the tolerances aren't good. So it's going to go back. We'll see how that goes. If they attempt to send me another one, or if they, get a hold of, the manufacturer and said, look, guys, something ain't right. But anyway, I won't take you through the dismantling process. We've already seen that before. This one, at least the wrist pin comes out easy, and the clips are easy to get to, so it's easy dismantling. But yeah, sucks. I'm kind of bummed. But anyway, guys, we're going to post this up as it is and show you that, it's not a win every time. Sometimes, you're the Louisville Slugger, and sometimes you're the Ball. So we'll see everybody next time.